Hello everyone and welcome to the WCTV Vodcast. My name is David Cross. I'm the news director and YouTube manager at WCTV.
Hi, I'm Shon. I'm sleeping on the streets.
I'm Brennen McCall, the WCTV general manager.
I'm Kyle Dawson, the sports director at WCTV.
I'm Matthew Schenkel, the assistant general manager at WCTV.
Alright, so Shon, you're sleeping on the streets?
He is.
I am. I got
So he
kicked out of my
says.
house.
That's
They didn't like
upsetting.
me anymore.
That's literally...
So-
Kicked me to the curb.
So you got kicked out of both your house and the laundromat this
And a
weekend.
lot. Oh, listen. So,
Story time.
so I got kicked out of a laundromat this weekend. I got perma banned. So I went to do my laundry. I put it in the machine. I made sure not to fill it past the white bob-looking thing at the top. I left, went back across the street. This gentleman, one person down from me, Mr. Dawson. I don't know if gentleman's the right word, but he went to go pick up his dry clothes that were in the dryer, and there were a bunch of dudes gathered around the washing machine that was on fire. The one that just so happened to have my clothes in it, which I picked number 13, which was a washer number, so that's probably why it caught on fire. He comes back over the house and says, "Hey, I think your clothes are on fire." So I run over across the street, hoping it wasn't my clothes.
Says it that
Lo and behold, there's 4 dudes pulling out a washing machine that was on fire. My clothes inside.
I think my exact words were, Sean, there's a washing machine on fire. You might want to go over there.
Yeah, those are his words. So I went over and my clothes were fine. They were inside. So I look inside and the dudes are talking with me and they're like, "Yeah, we got the landlord coming soon." I was like, and he was like, "They're going to reimburse you." So I was like, "Okay, that's cool." So like I'm looking, I was like, "I didn't overfill it," and the dudes are like, "No, you didn't. It's fine. It's just sometimes the thing turns and the laundry doesn't turn with it, so it's just spinning and spinning and creates smoke, and then things catch on fire." So that was great. Landlord dude shows up. Dude's furious, and I was like, it wasn't my fault. So I'm thinking he's just going to give me my $2 back. I paid to do my clothes, and I moved down to a different washing machine. And no, he's freaking out on me, the 60-year-old dude. And I'm going to have to paraphrase this next part, but I was like, "What do you want me to do with my clothes?" And he's like, "I have no sympathy for the overloads," is what he called me. "You can take it and shove it up your..."
You finish from there.
Shove it up your...
Behind.
You're behind it.
And I was like, yikes, this dude's furious. So he made me pull out my clothes out of the washer, which meanwhile, like, they're soaking wet. There's still water in the washing machine, the washer. And I pull my clothes out. They're heavy, and I have to carry the clothes back to our house. So I got perma banned because he was like, "There's 2 other laundromats in town.
That's
I want you back in
mind-blowing.
here."
That might be one of my
For something that
favorite
is his
stories
fault.
of the year.
It wasn't my fault. It was his laundry machine. Like, if anyone's at fault, it's him.
I walked in, because I live right next to the laundromat.
He lives across the street. Dave's house.
I walked outside as you. Was it you? You were bringing his clothes
Yeah,
over to
Shon
put...
goes back
Yeah,
into
so I-
the
so
So
I
this
got-
was a legitimate excuse.
Yeah.
All this was an excuse to have somebody do your laundry.
Yeah.
It's an elaborate...
So I got the perma ban, but my laundry didn't. So I was able to send this nice gentleman to my left to go do my laundry.
Yeah, so I was carrying his red hamper across the street to the laundromat, and Matt Chink was outside with his girlfriend, and he asked me what I was doing. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing Sean's laundry." So I walk in, and I had like a load of quarters with me to give to his roommate and try to do his laundry for him. So
Yeah.
Was that guy there, or no, the landlord already left?
no, I there was only the only one who was in there was I think
Dad.
was Dad.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The irony in that is that I was there the previous weekend doing my own laundry, and one of the washers did not quite work. It continuously told me that the lid was open, even though it was
Good
closed.
laundromat.
Mhm.
And now it told me, someone
Working
said,
machines.
"Well, you must have overfilled it." I said, "No, it doesn't say error. It says the lid is open." And if you left the lid closed for like 5 minutes, the washer would turn on for about a minute and then
Yeah,
turn back
that's
off.
Like, so this laundromat's across from the Waynesburg Domino's. I tried to write a Yelp review about it yesterday, but it doesn't exist on Google. So yeah,
Pretty popular.
stay away from it. Don't go there. The landlord's a jerk.
I still stand by the fact that you could probably do some kind of civil suit.
He doesn't have
them
to
cover
stay
your
out.
laundry damages, but
This guy can't legally keep him out without.
he has the right to refuse service, doesn't he?
I mean, he doesn't like sit there and monitor it at all.
Yeah.
Like he just like has it there. I'm waiting until like I show up one day and there's like a picture of me on the wall saying, "Don't let this guy walk out."
Wanted.
We'll
Reward
rip
$2.
that down.
He's gonna put fingerprint scanners in, and everybody else
yeah.
is gonna have to have a fingerprint scan.
I told you we can put a sign in our house's yard that says, "Warning: your washer may catch on fire."
Yeah, it's
Right next to his parking
So I
lot.
just write it on the wall.
Well, listen. So
No,
to make you
that's
understand
vandalism.
what
Yes,
this
it is.
laundromat was, they have a sign on the side of it that says "laundromat parking only." It used to say "laundromeat parking only." So
That's
Yeah,
also
good spelling.
true.
literacy skills.
Good spelling.
That place.
Good grammar.
Make Waynesburg great again. Take down the Icona wash across from Domino's. Back to you in the newsroom.
Isn't that my job?
Oh.
Is it?
All right.
So do we wanna?
I just.
What else?
You hear about dryers catching fire all the time, though, but the washer.
Yeah, the washer had water inside. Like I don't understand how it starts
Oh, it's
smoking.
smoking out the back, I think.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
still hilarious.
Still ridiculous.
heard that.
Shout out to that dude.
Yeah, R.I.P. No, so listen, like, I
Speaking
want
of
to.
R.I.P.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so
Let's just-
yesterday was a tragic day.
Yeah, not just this guy either. Arnie.
So yeah, toast to him.
We,
May he rip.
We're all drinking an Arnold Palmer.
Legend. Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
I like
My
Joe.
I can
hometown.
make a drink, I tell you that.
So we've all got an Arnold Palmer, and then Jose Fernandez also passed away, 24, and we were all watching the that first game back.
Yeah, oh my god.
Less than 5-10 minutes before we came on.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really
I was over here,
beautiful,
and it was
beautiful
touching
moment.
me.
I was at Giant Eagle.
Like, I was
Bindings.
worried about like spoiling, but it's not even spoiling. Beautiful moment. D. Gordon, home run, first at
Yeah, this was
for the
after he
Marlins.
took the first pitch in the right-handed batter's box with Fernandez's helmet on.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Makes you feel
That's
some type
beautiful.
of way.
Just retweet that money.
He hits home run, first at bat for the Marlins.
His first home run of the season.
First
Yeah.
home run of the season.
It's amazing.
And they're going to retire his number too. Marlins owner said.
Yeah, good for
Which
them.
is definitely
That's
appropriate.
They should.
As
Yeah,
they
they
should.
should.
Mhm.
He is. He was probably on his way to be the best Marlins player ever. Actually, who would you
Okay.
even say is the best Marlins?
The thing I like about like athletes and stuff, it's not necessarily their performance, but like the way they go about it. And like I've seen videos and stuff. The guy always being happy, excited. Like his spirits were always high. Like for
Yeah.
me, not being a sports fan, I like seeing that.
Yesterday, you would have, or not yesterday, but 48 hours ago, we'd have been sitting here talking about Jose Fernandez's potential Hall of Fame numbers and his Rookie of the Year award, and now 24 hours ago, or 36 hours ago, I guess, since the news broke, it's all about who he was, all about the personality on the field, off the field.
The struggles of him.
Yeah,
We're talking about a 24-year-old
We're talking about a 24-year-old
who's
that's
3 years older than me.
That three
We're
times.
not talking about who he is or who he will be. We're talking about who he was.
Yeah, that 3 times tried to escape Cuba. On the 3rd time, does so successfully, and jumps into the water in the middle of the night to save a person that fell overboard. Doesn't even know it's his mom.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't even know this kind of person he was. And we were going back yesterday when Arnold Palmer passed away. That was probably like 10 o'clock at night that news came out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going back through and seeing all the people that have died in 2016, and man, it sucked.
Mhm.
2016 has been an awful
Yeah.
year for celebrity death. And, you can just sit there and say, like, oh, well, it's just another celebrity. And, you could say Arnold Palmer was 87, died of natural
And on that
causes, but
term-
it's still an impact.
On that term, I was watching a sports show either today or yesterday, and one of the female reporters said, like, the big news or the big sports news from coming out of yesterday, Arnold Palmer dying. I'm like, he was 87. Like,
It's big news.
It's still
just
big news.
not- Yeah.
But he was 87. This was coming.
Mhm.
And you say that's the big news when 24-year-old Jose Fernandez died. And I was a little shocked at that.
Yeah, and going off of what Shon said about how Jose Fernandez has such a love for the game, the same can be said with Arnold Palmer. He just loved to play the game of golf. He didn't really care about his titles and all the winnings that he had. I don't follow golf very much, but I know that from a lot of people that he just loved the game of golf, and he just had such a passion for it and gave his life to it.
I mean, he made, like you said, one heck of a
He
drink
makes-
here. So
Well, that's true, yeah.
Dude makes a good drink.
yeah, I mean, just looking back at like some of the people we've lost, like celebrity-wise. I mean, David Bowie.
The list
Brennan's
goes on and
Alan
on.
Rickman.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder, Pat
Harambe.
Summitt.
Pat Summitt, Muhammad Ali.
Oh my goodness, Buddy Ryan.
Wait, did I hear a
Gordy-
Harambe?
Gordy
Yeah,
Allen.
Sean said
Of course,
that.
Sean's gonna bring
Sean
up.
said it. We're just gonna.
Of course, Sean's gonna bring up Harambe when
The,
we're talking about serious death.
I don't want to butcher his last name. Anton Yelchin, I think it is.
I think
He's the
that's
guy
it,
that
yeah.
played this, in the Star Trek
George
movies.
Martin. There's a fifth beat.
Oh, yeah.
The guy who was a midget in R2-D2?
yeah.
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 I mean, the list goes
Prince.
on and on. Prince,
Mm-hmm.
Gordie
Ken
Howe. For
Gordie
sports
Howe.
people,
So
Gordie
there-
Howe.
Jim
There you
Harris.
go. There's our topic for today. We'll start with Sean. Sean, who is your role model? Celebrity role model?
Bo Burnham. He's a comedian rapper guy.
Why?
Because his main goal in his music is to make other people happy, even if it means costing his own happiness. So his most recent tour was called Make Happy, and his literal goal was to make you happy. And one of the lines from his closing song in the act goes, "Come and watch this skinny kid with a steadily declining mental health, and watch as he attempts to give you what he cannot give himself, which is happiness." And just like little things like that in music that hit you, and you're like, wow, this dude's literally sacrificing his life to make other people happy. And you just look back at some of the subtle things he does in his music. And again, he's just another younger dude, like 26 now. Definitely, I met him 3 times, really great guy. I guess he's my celebrity role model.
Brennan?
Well, I don't know if I have much of a celebrity role model. I enjoy sports. I enjoy watching sports. I'm a big racing fan. I admired Dale Earnhardt in his racing career. I admire him as the way he treated his family and how he raised his son, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and the company he built with DDI, and it's Dale Earnhardt Racing Incorporated. And what?
Nothing, I'm listening.
Sean's on his phone.
I'm kind of
Okay, I
guess
got you.
can't see.
Okay.
Does
Yeah,
anyone
but-
mind if I open these Oreos?
No, dude, just go right ahead.
Wait,
Open those puppies
sealed
up.
slit appears when open. Okay, we're gonna see.
Yeah, there we go.
They're the Halloween ones, so they got the shapes. You can have a haunted house.
It's got
Nice.
Waynesburg colors.
Haunted house. Just like the one I live in.
This one has a skull. You can pass that down the shingle.
Okay.
Apparently, this is your skull.
This one has a flower on it. No, this one says trick or treat. This
They
can go to the
each
pile.
have a flower
That'll
on
be
it.
its
So
trick
you
or
have
treat.
to
This
flip
one has
them
a
over.
jack-o'-lantern. That can go
Love
to you.
jack-o'-lanterns.
And I'll take the bat, because I'm Batman.
All right, so
You're
so
not
Dale-
Batman, but
Dale
anyways,
Earnhardt.
thanks for interrupting
Dale
Brandon's
Earnhardt.
story.
Yeah, so Dale Earnhardt, I mean,
Now we're gonna talk with our mouth full.
Senior, Dale Earnhardt Senior. Yeah, I mean, I've watched a lot of documentaries on him and just his life and his career, but the big thing that stuck out to me was, besides the fact that he was a talented race car driver, he affected everybody in NASCAR and everybody he came in contact with. Yeah, he had this hard personality on the racetrack, but he was such a gentle father figure and friend off the racetrack, and somebody who was able to combine the two into such an illustrious career, I think, is something really good. But it's kind of hard to pin down somebody as a celebrity that I would want to be like and be a role model. So yeah, I guess it's mine.
I don't know.
Is that a sports announcer that
Do you
Kyle
have-
names?
do you
Is
have-
that an
I don't
athlete?
know.
Who is it?
I mean, it might sound a little cliche at this point, but I think Jose Fernandez is, I've followed the career for, the last 4 years. 2013, he came up to the big leagues. If any of us, if anybody watching, if any of us could do something with as much fun, have as much fun, with as much pride and with as much joy as he did playing the game of baseball, as he did being a human being in general, I think we can all learn from that. I think we can all take a couple of things from Jose Fernandez and say, right, he was a guy that was in prison in Cuba during his childhood in this oppressed nation, comes over here, and I already told the story about him coming over here his third time saving his mom, even though he didn't know it was his mom. And come over here and have as much joy as he does, or as he did, just playing the game that he loved. I think we can all learn from that. I don't know. He would definitely be one, but I think if you're going to talk a sportscaster wise, I think Stuart Scott comes to mind. I was devastated I was devastated when we were in Bonaire year one when I found out about that, and I was really mad at Dr. Kaur at the time, was on the trip, and she knew about it when it happened and didn't tell me, and I found out the next day. So I was a little upset about that. But yeah, that one hurt, and then I think one coming up, one that also had a celebration yesterday, Vin Scully, is the Dodgers play-by-play announcer. Just the incredible career that he's had, the work that he has done, the person that he is. I mean, I think we can all have multiple celebrity role models, and it's easy to say, well, it's just this one guy. It's easy to say, well, it's just this other guy. I don't know. I think we all have multiple, whether we like to admit it or not.
Yeah. I pulled up your Facebook post, the one you made about Jose Fernandez, and some of the things you touched base on the post you just said. So.
Yeah.
You're up to 23 likes on that.
I've been thinking all day, all the last 36 hours, trying to wrap my head around it. Same thing went for Stuart Scott. Same thing went for Muhammad Ali. It's just
death is a female dog. To be honest, I mean, it always hits you whenever you least expect it. I guarantee Kyle didn't plan on waking up yesterday.
No, I woke up yesterday, and Derek, one of our housemates, came up and told me one thing that I won't repeat on the air, and then said, "Oh, and Jose Fernandez died," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And then I wasn't up at that point. He says that, and I go on to
Twitter. That's all I saw on Twitter yesterday, from pictures of the boat crash on the rocks to the photo of his pregnant wife to bless you, girlfriend.
And that's the hardest thing too, man. I mean, it's seeing the people that that he left behind. It's just so sad, But
I think me and Dave were talking, or me and Dawson were talking about it. We're definitely gonna buy Jose Fernandez jersey.
I mean, the guy was my favorite player.
That's the thing.
For 4 years.
Yeah.
Outside of the Pirates.
I'm a Phillies fan, and he dominated us.
Yeah.
You have to
Phillies
respect
know
it.
a lot about dominating.
If he wasn't pitching against the Pirates, I think I put in my Facebook post last night. If you were walking by, there's only a couple athletes I can ever think of that if you're walking by a TV or you're scrolling through Twitter and you see a highlight video.
Oh, he was so happy in all of them.
Well, that and I won't mention his baseball stuff too much, but the guy was filthy. The guy had Hall of Fame numbers, and Jacob said something yesterday too, that he's going to look up his page on Baseball Reference and it's never going to change again. And the guy was 24, and he had one of the best FIPS in baseball history for a career FIP. He had one of the best ERAs in 4 years in his career that ever is going to be had. Right, he's going to win the strikeout.
If Nolan Ryan
this
had
year.
the same strikeout rate that Jose Fernandez did, I believe it would be 7,000 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan.
I saw a statistic someone tweeted out. He struck out 31.8% of batters faced.
There's only so many athletes, and I know I'm just a big sports guy, so I will take in any sports that I can, right? But there's only so many athletes, and I think he was one of them, that if you were walking by Sports Center or you just caught a glimpse and they said, "Oh, we're going to take a look at Jose Fernandez's night last night," you stopped. and you watched it because you knew it was going to be good, and you knew you were going to see something incredibly just prideful, incredibly happy. There's GIFs on Twitter. You can look them up.
Did you catch
right?
that?
One was did you catch that meme when Troy
one?
Tulowitzki hits a line drive back?
I
and
had
he
no
just starts
idea.
laughing.
Jose Fernandez.
And there's his first home run, right? The first home run he ever hit in the big
bench
leagues.
clearing brawl.
He flips the bat. He stares at it. It's his first home run.
As a pitcher,
and the
too.
announcer said it perfectly. Like, oh, who cares if he stares at it? If he peeks at it, it's his first one. And they have a bench clearing brawl, and the entire time when he's being charged, he's laughing.
Yeah.
It's like, this is hilarious.
And then the other GIF that I saw going around was when Giancarlo hits that home run.
Yeah.
And the caption is,
and he's just going like this. Crazy.
I hope someday something makes me this happy.
Yeah.
And it's Giancarlo hits that home run, and you see him run out of frame to first base, and you just see Jose Fernandez
He's
so
arms
happy
in the air.
on the bench,
Yeah.
flailing his arms everywhere.
Shinkle, your old model.
Yeah, top that.
Yeah, thanks. That's gonna be a tough one to do.
My mom.
My middle name is directly after Ken Griffey Jr. He would be an easy one to do.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, his dad's a huge Ken Griffey.
I didn't know
fan.
that.
Yeah. I went to go see him get inducted this year in the Hall of Fame. He, big Ken Griffey Jr. guy, but it would be easy to do him because he one of the best baseball players of all time. Could easily be the home run king had he not getting injured as many times as he did.
Just do it.
Good job.
You're gonna make an interruption either way.
Wow, thank you.
Ken Griffey Jr. would be an easy one. Another good one would be Chase Utley because he always played the game hard. Still does play the game hard.
Yeah.
From Philly to Los Angeles, yeah. He was
Yes,
a
Chase
baseman.
Utley. He would be the one you probably saw last October, and I won't make too big of a deal out of it, but that broke the dude's leg sliding into
Yep.
second base.
Oh, Jung Ho Gong.
Sweet.
No,
No.
not Jung Ho Gong.
No, it was a shortstop. It was
Utley was the one sliding. It was
Yeah.
in the playoffs last year.
solid move. But I'm not going to go an athlete. I'll say me and Dave have a show every Monday night, the Mosh Pit, 10 to midnight on the radio station. And I'll go with a band. I'll go with Rise Against. They're a band that they've always strung to their moral sense, and they always stood up for what they believe is right, and every song that they have has stood for something. They did a song raising money for Hurricane Katrina victims. They've done one, for support of women, for support of the LGBT community, for support of this and that and this, and it's just everything they do. They don't make music because they're good at their instruments and they can make a beat and make music from it. All their songs are something that they try to get a message across to somebody, and they all live that lifestyle too. I think there's 5 people in the band. 4 of them are vegans, and the other one is vegetarian because they don't believe in eating meat, because that whole thing.
What's the difference between vegans and vegetarians?
Vegetarians don't eat meat. And
Vegans don't eat any animal products.
Vegans
so like
don't
milk
eat
products,
cheese.
eggs, milk.
They don't eat.
Yeah, I find that a very boring way to live. No offense, but I love meat and I love animals. They're really good.
I like what you said, like musicians that like have a deeper meaning to their songs and why they do it. Like if you listen to, I'm a huge Macklemore fan. It's like a lot of his songs,
Yeah.
Same Love, White Privilege 1 and 2. There's songs that touch base on a greater purpose, other side about his.
I think there's a lot more songs too that do it that we don't necessarily think of that do it.
Hotel California, for instance, one of the greatest songs ever written.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely more to it than that.
Yeah, and
And a sweet beat.
yeah, and I definitely have more respect for bands that do that. Create their own music and write their own songs. I enjoy that so much more than a lot of the solo artists who have a lot of the very, I guess I want to say, repetition of words. They're very simple. They repeat a lot of stuff.
No
And-
message.
Yeah,
The
and
Black Eyed Peas did it a lot in their beginning with "Where's the Love" and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah, and there's also the advancements in technology where I guess it's not taking advantage of. I mean, I still have a respect because I think it's hard to make music off a computer, but I just prefer instruments and bands rather than
You really have a lot of
computers.
artists that like conform to what people want more and more. Like, so Fall Out Boy, for instance, they were always doing what they wanted to, and then as they got more and more popular, more and more famous, like their music started going got less and less quality as they got bigger and bigger. So it's like you listen to modern day Fall Out Boy, like Centuries, and compare it from stuff from Under the Cork Tree album or whatever, like it's completely different. It's
Yeah, very good. Matt and I often talk about the meaning behind a lot of music because our genre is very meaning heavy. I mean, we listen to a lot of people just call it screamo, but it's hard rock, metal, and there aren't just a repetition of all these songs that are just about, you know, drugs and money.
Drugs, tractors, women,
Jeans, cold jeans.
cold jeans.
Yeah.
Strike that last one.
Most songs have a deeper meaning, a deeper
Yeah.
message.
That is what drove me to it. Because like my best friend in high school listened to that kind of music all the time, and at first I wanted no part of it because obviously it's not something that I was, well, not obviously, but it's not something that I was raised into. No one in my family listens to that type of music. But once you really look into the deeper meaning, because bands like Beartooth, bands like Issues, these are bands you guys I'm sure don't even know.
Skillet.
Yeah,
I
you'll know
love my
Skillet.
ex.
But bands like that, like.
Those are all Christian bands. Right?
Once you just, I didn't even know they were when I
Yeah.
first started listening to them. Just when you, I like finding hidden meaning in stuff. Like I like when that happens in movies, like in Forrest Gump. There's a leaf in the beginning, and then at the very end of the movie,
It's a feather.
the feather, the
Yeah.
feathers in the beginning, and the feather comes down at the end. I like finding the hidden meaning in books and stuff like that, and I like it in music as well. So like finding that kind of like touch that you can tell the creator of that piece put in there distinctly only for like the hardest searcher to find.
Oh yeah, and like Harry Potter, like those books apparently have a lot of those hidden things that people search for, and like in movies and.
There is a lot in the Harry Potter books
Yeah.
that you will never get from the movies.
Apparently, Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn, I think, was the director for that. He put in one huge Easter egg in the film that no one's noticed yet, and that film's been out for like 3 years now. Like, I'm very similar to Shinkleware. I love finding the deeper meaning in things, whether it's just books or
Nemo.
finding. Stop. It's like Lost, for instance, the television show Lost. There's so many different ways you can perceive it, and there's not like one technical way it actually ended, or the whole meaning behind it is so skewed because you don't know. Apparently they were.
Stupid question.
Yeah.
Did Finding Dory come out yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't
In
see
theater.
it.
Came out this summer.
Not the
It came out this summer.
I completely forgot. I didn't
Yeah, it
see
came
it.
out.
Yeah.
We'll get together and watch it sometime. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
You can watch it here. We'll commentary it. No, like Lost, like they were all dead the whole time, and you never thought about that. They were in purgatory this whole time.
It's about what to happen to Walking Dead, and I'll be furious.
Oh yeah, R.I.P.
No,
Glenn there.
they better not.
Walking Dead ends with
Robert-
Rick.
Rick waking up.
Rick dies.
Rick
and
waking
wakes
up.
Robert
He's
Kirkman.
Yes.
Robert Kirkman has said he doesn't want to do that.
That's one of those.
Doesn't-
That's one of those Family Guy, Peter Griffin.
Yeah, one of those.
Breaking of the neck. moments.
Boy, one eye.
That would be
You gotta buy a car.
that would be a
just that.
horrible way. If you could
Just fell off a
pick,
cliff and died.
if you could pick one person to survive, the
The
show
Walking Dead
ends. The show
series?
ends. Season 1000, whatever. The show ends. Who is the one person you want from The Walking Dead that's alive right now to survive?
Judith.
Judith is dead in the comics.
Wow.
Jesus.
If
Oh,
you say if you say
Spoiler
the
was
word
ruled by an infant.
If
Judith's
you,
been
more
dead
time.
since issue 30 years.
If you say the
Stop.
word comics
we
one more
said,
time.
Oh wait.
go
oh wait.
back
so
and
she's-
watch Vodcast
we're
number
beyond
0.
Yeah.
We
that
said
in TV.
you're not gonna do
Okay.
this.
No.
we
We're
had
fine.
No,
number
it's
0.
like Judith
Yeah.
dies like way back in issue 4, like back in the prison.
Still.
So like she's fine now. She can die whenever now.
Stop.
Well, no,
saying-
she's not going to. Essentially,
They can't kill her.
because the TV and the
I mean,
comics
they
are
can.
different.
They can do whatever they want.
At this point,
Oh,
they
listen,
won't.
listen, I watched the Titanic last night.
I want
There was
Carl with-
there's a scene where like there's a lady holding her baby in the water. And, like you see it, and I was like, oh no, there's a dead baby in the water with being held by her mother, and now they're both dead, frozen to death. And I cried for like 5 minutes. Back to the Walking Dead. I was literally in tears
Dave,
watching
Dave
the
said
Titanic.
Carl.
Okay, I say Carl because
Even though he has one
if Rick
eye.
dies, if all these other people die, Carl is younger. Carl takes over. Carl leads a new group into
With
the
one
new
eye.
world with one eye.
Captain.
But I see Carl as like
Yeah,
the
doesn't
next
see.
leader into the new world.
Carl doesn't see.
Can I make a comment about Titanic real quick?
Yeah,
I just thought was hilarious. In the scene where Rose is being lowered down in the boat, she's looking up at Jack.
Yeah.
Jack is looking down at her with her fiance. I think it was Cal.
Cal, yeah.
In that scene where it looks back at them while the flares are going across, there's a third random guy in the shot looking down at Rose too. I just think it is the funniest thing.
I gotta go back and see that.
Yeah.
No, I just like the part in the film when like the ship's like being wrecked
Yikes.
or whatever like this, and the dude falls off the top and hits the blade.
Oh yeah,
And
he
spins
just
out.
propellers to his head.
That's funny to you, dude.
So we haven't got to my role model.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Finish
2
this off,
minutes.
Dave.
Bernie Burns.
Who? Sorry.
He is the chief creative officer and one of the founders of a company called Rooster Teeth.
Well,
That is
You are a huge
entirely,
Rooster Teeth guys.
entirely my inspiration into doing what I do.
oh, your animation.
No.
Cue a video from Dave's animation right here.
We can't do that.
Oh,
Yeah, you
never
can.
mind.
You're making one.
Pause.
I don't know if I can play that.
Never mind. He's not making one.
I am making one. I
It's
just
a
don't know
lie.
if I can play
I
it.
lied to you.
And
trying
also,
to get
it
one out.
won't be done in.
Just kidding. We're gonna play
Done for-
sample one of Dave's.
Give a good
Dragon
15
right
seconds,
here.
Booth.
You want
give it
to
a
play
15
Dave's
Kevin's
Dragon's going
Dragon.
right here.
No, and it's
Welcome
not
back.
even. It's not even the animation. Like I would not be a communication major. I would not want to get into video or anything if it weren't for Rooster Teeth.
Really?
Yes.
Without watching them and stuff.
Yeah, because like the first, so I got into them for their show Red vs. Blue, which is the longest running web series on the internet. It's in its 14th
on
season
Netflix.
right now. It is on Netflix,
Yep.
and the first 5 seasons is just like when is it, or it's like the way he explains how they came up with it was, we're gonna sit down and play a game, and what would happen. So I mean they play they play characters, but
They're
they
Halo,
sat down
right.
in the it's in Halo. They sat down in Blood Gulch, like the original canyon of like Halo 1, and said, what do we have? Okay, so we have a red base, we have a blue base, there's a rocket launcher in the cave, there's teleporters. How can we make this funny? And they built 5 seasons on a show, almost strictly in that canyon, or like with a heavy emphasis on being in that canyon.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. And now they're 9 seasons later, and they've added so much more, you know, with technology and stuff and CGI.
And a multi-million-dollar company now.
Yeah, and now they're a multi-million-dollar company because they started playing Halo and making it funny.
They were talking about, they were in the works to get their own TV channel too.
At one point, yes. But that
Not
was
gonna
like
happen now.
too much work for them.
Yeah, that's
It's,
not gonna
or it's,
happen.
it's not what they're about. This company changed the internet. Like,
Not like Kim Kardashian breaking the internet.
no.
Changed.
Like the way that they have made a multi-million-dollar company on the internet
Just like-
and have this not just a fan base but a ravenous fan base is
Just from sitting down one day. And
just from sitting down one day and playing Halo. And this was back in the days when there wasn't even Xbox Live. So they sat down in an apartment and recorded a video game.
I gotta watch that because like my brother was a huge fan. He always watched it with a child he dates. So
That's the weirdest way you could have worded
Yeah.
that.
So let's
You could've just said a
we're not
very
gonna
young
go into
teenager.
details.
Look,
Very young teenager.
I'm guessing you don't like her, but we're not going to say
We're
names
not
or
gonna go
anything.
into details.
So,
But no, I mean, I always walked in on them and they would be watching it and stuff. And I remember it's like, I always see it on Netflix, and the screen icon for it's like a blue guy and a red guy.
Yeah.
Red versus blue. That makes sense now.
but like the character development that they've gone through now, because the first 5 seasons were really just like a mosh pit of comedy.
And they started
like
on YouTube, right?
Yes, mostly I believe.
Don't laugh at me.
No, I was. He said mosh pit. I went.
Yeah, but it's just a mosh of just like random comedy and like basically they came up with all these funny things they could do and then tried to build a plot through it to like get to everything.
Let's
and
get to it.
and there's not really much sense to it. And then in season 6, they like woke up and like it had to make sense. And like there's this like really in-depth plot to it all now. And I don't think Bernie even writes it anymore. I think he handed it off to another guy in the company, Miles, and Miles writes it now. He wrote the last 3 seasons, and the current season is an anthology season that they're just like short stories and stuff and
Bernie Sanders.
backstories and everything.
So Bernie is your role model because he just kind of stuck with what he believed in and made it great.
He made a multi-million-dollar company.
He and his friends.
Out of a video.
Out of a
Yeah.
Basically playing a game.
Which at the time was unheard of. Nowadays, there's Twitch, there's YouTube. You see,
Nowadays,
Which
that's what
plays
you want to do.
Pokemon.
that's how many
hell.
people
Lord Helix.
you have this like even a small following playing video games like that. It's common at this point.
And
So-
I think what would be great if Barry's parents told him, "You'll never get a job playing video games your whole
Bernie.
life."
And here he
Or
is.
Bernie?
Yes.
Or is it
Not
Barry?
Bernie.
Bernie. Yes.
Bernie like Sanders, not Barry like Allen.
Okay.
It's actually a nickname.
So if Bernie's parents told him, "Hey, son, you're never going to make you're never going to make money playing video games your whole life."
That's the thing. They put a video out when they got a billion views on YouTube.
Billion with a B.
It was like what, like 20 of the people that work at the company. They made a video of them all like thanking everybody that watches their content. And one of the main guys for them, Jeff, he said, "My parents told me I would never amount to anything in life if I continued to play video games. Good thing I dropped out of college." It's like, he dropped out of college, decided to pursue a career where he plays video games. Multi-million-dollar company.
Sign me up. So to summarize today, Dave's role model is Mr. Bernie. Insert
Mike
last name
Burns.
here. Mike Burns. Mine is Bo Burnham. Brennan McCall's is Mr. Dale Earnhardt, Senior.
I'm saying
Kyle's is.
Do you want me to cut that out?
Kyle's.
Yeah, cut it out.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have said that. I'm sorry.
Jump cut. So Kyle's is Mr. Cool Side of the Pillow guy,
Yes.
as well as Mr. Hernandez, Fernandez, and then
Good try though.
Yikes.
Sports
I
guy.
will take that. And then he had a third guy thrown in there as well, Mr.
Vince Scully.
Dodger guy,
Vin Scully.
and then
Did you
Mr.
say any of their names right?
No. Mr. Dodger guy, Hernandez.
Look,
Cool
I can
side
tell.
of the
I can tell you what's going on here.
Well, and then Shinkles is. Let me finish. Shinkle chose the band Rise Against.
Yes,
I
sir.
can tell you what's going on here. Sean's trying to do a recap so that he can say that's it. I think
We
we're
probably
done,
should. I
guys.
think we're hitting about 30 minutes here.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah,
Sean came in, since
Yeah,
Sean
I
came in
think
late.
we're at about.
Haircut.
I think
My
we're
dad
about,
texted me a pic of my dog eating ice cream.
I think we're at about 35 minutes.
Yeah,
So-
apparently there's no S on the end of minutes.
No.
The more you know, just like the word. Hey, my forte is I'm really good at basketball. Forte is the wrong word. It's fort.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Grammar brought to you by Sean Mead.
And
Thanks
Kyle
for
Lawson.
watching the WCTV Executive Vodcast. We'll see you next time. Hey everyone, if you like that video, click subscribe below. Also, you can follow us on Twitter at WCTV Waynesburg, right there. Thanks everyone for watching.